Hello guys, it's Marian Petro, and today we're going to see another interesting game, and this time this is not just a game, but I will tell you also a little bit of interesting story. So this happened in 19th century, 1865, and at that time two of the best players in the world was playing some matches. It was quite normal for the people to play match. They call it casual games or something like that, because until that point there was no organized organization like now it's FIDE, and there were no championship matches. And we are having the match between Adolf Anderssen and Johannes Zukertort. You know that Anderssen was considered as the best player in the world, but it was unofficially like the world champion. Zukertort nearly has become the first world champion. He was the participant. Fortunately, the history remembers only the winners, but he played the first match for the title with Wilhelm Steinitz, and he was even leading 4-1, but later Steinitz managed to win the match and to become the first world champion. Anyway, so now we have this game. Zukertort is with white against Anderssen, and they play the King's Gambit, which is of course one of the most popular, if not the most popular opening at that time. People wanted just to attack and to deliver checkmate, and of course black is not shy, and he is playing G5, which is one of the best moves, by the way, even nowadays, defending his pawn, exposing a little bit the king, but okay, this way is more fun to play. Now white goes for this line, bishop c4. Also there is h4 and d4, but bishop c4 of course looks interesting. And now white goes g4, black goes g4.
The big day is here because this new course with 42 attacking principles is ready, it's out there. I put my best foot forward in order to collect all the attacking principles, and with Grandmaster Marian Petro we created this amazing chess course, and you can follow the link below of this video in order to read the description. Now please let me show you how the course is inside. If you enroll to this course, you can see it here, and after that you can start learning one lesson after the other. And if you click here on PGN file and exercises, and there in this green button, then you can see the PDF document. We have 5 of them, each one has 10 exercises, and then you have the positions. You can set up this position in your real board and try to figure out what is going on, and later you can scroll down and see the solutions there. If you like the course, you are very welcome to promote this one to your friends by our affiliate program. We have 50% commissions for you. So time is action is now.
And this is of course a theoretical line, and it seems like it's a mistake, you can say, from black, because now 95, why he is inviting 95, but this actually is okay for black, because he goes queen h4 check, and after king f1 even knight h6 is okay, defending both pawns, and then d6 is coming, so this knight to e5 is a bit hanging in the air. It is still possible, of course, but then at that time quite popular was, we can say nowadays, it was trending line to just castle and to play this gambit. So what is the idea, of course, of this gambit? The idea is to put pressure on the f file. And okay, since black has said A, they have to say B, so he takes the knight, and here queen f3, I have seen even a line where white immediately takes on bishop f7 and then queen f3, but there is no need to sacrifice still a second piece, so white just takes this pawn. So it looks very, very dangerous for black, because now if white has time to take queen f4, then the game is nearly over before it has begun. But black has, of course, this move queen f6. So now you don't want to exchange the queens, of course, being a piece down, and meanwhile, if white is not careful, black could deliver this check with the queen from d4 and then collect a second piece, even without losing his pawn. So what to do? Of course, d3 is an option, but the best move at the time was considered to be e5, opening additional files. Black has to take more or less, and now already d3, defending the bishop. So the point is that white has the e file, maybe in the future in his disposal, not now, and also when he takes on f4 in the future with the bishop, this will attack the queen. So what to do now for black? He has to find this move, which people knew in 1865, bishop h6, again to stop the attack on the f file. White has to develop, and black has to close the e file and maybe to prepare even the castle. So white is playing this move, preparing rook e1. So this is the critical position of this line. There have been many games, even from this time. And why did I tell you that it will be a story also, but not only a game? Because in this match, both players have played exactly the same position with both colors, white and black. So now we are looking at the game in which Zukertort was with white, and in the game Anderssen played the pawn to c6. The main move, and maybe the best move, was actually played from Zukertort himself in one of the games of the match, which is knight to c6. And here the theory was more kind of developed. Even now, of course, it's developed a lot. So let's quickly see what happened in this game. So you have 2 games instead of 1. So this is okay. Rook e1, queen f5, knight d5. White is putting pressure on the knight. This is the only move. Bishop c3 is the only chance, and rook e8. So this has been played a few times. Even Paul Morphy has games in this position, and people realize that bishop f6 is not doing anything because of simply d6 and bishop e6 coming. So they have played few times. Anderssen played 2 times with white in the same match against Zukertort. So one of the game was this: rook f8, g4, attacking the queen. If pawn takes, white can just take the queen. So queen g6, and then h4. Prepare. This reminds me a little bit of the game Anderssen. You know that he has played a similar idea in one of these immortal games, g4 and h4. So maybe he took, actually it was before, it was in 1861. So this is 4 years later, 65. Okay, d6, g5, bishop g7, queen f4. Finally, white managed to take this pawn, and now h6 was played. And what is funny about this position, that this position after move 20 has been played 2 times in this match. So they repeat the same line, all those 20 moves 2 times. In one of the games, Anderssen has played the move pawn to b4, but in the second game he played the move d4, which is much more logical. Maybe he made some analysis, and now of course he has to calculate what if black just takes on g5. So black takes on g5. What is the idea of d4, by the way? Why do you close the bishop? Because now after d5 the game has been decided now with one very nice, you can say, combination, although it is amazing blunder from black's point of view. Anderssen have this in mind when he prepared this d4, d5. So if the knight moves, he has, okay, you will see this is what happened actually, because indeed Zukertort didn't pay attention of what is white threatening. And now queen d6, check. And if you take bishop a5 is a checkmate. And then the game was over. Here black resigned. Of course here black could have maybe defended, knight e5 was maybe possible, or there are some other moves. And now let's go back to our game, which I want to show you now. So now Zukertort is in white, and Anderssen, he knows about this other line, but of course he preferred now to play pawn to c6, which is preparing the move d5, and why not? Because if black can push d5 and to close the bishop, and then bishop e6, and just to stop all the attack which is coming. So what can white do? Okay, he has to obviously move the rook, and this is the critical moment, because now of course if it's white to move, knight e4 is coming, so the whole plan of black is d5. And now in the game, Zukertort has played queen h5. There was a funny actually idea. If you remember now the game which I have just showed you, in the end it was with this bishop a5 checkmate, if you remember. Now if white took on d5, this was one line which of course is not forced, but it was quite possible. So if bishop f8, probably not the best move, but okay, to defend. Now queen h5, preparing some checks with the knight f6. So if black defends the queen, we can have exactly the same idea, even without sacrificing. It would have been very, very nice checkmate with the bishop and the knight. But of course it's not forced. So white is playing queen h5, which looks like a very strong move, pinning the pawn and attacking the bishop. And Anderssen moves the queen out of the pin, defending his bishop and attacking the bishop on c4. And again, now if white is more, let's say, positional player, or player who don't like the complications, he will just go bishop to b3, and this will give time for black to maybe to play queen g6, or to start developing and defend his king. But Zukertort was also a good attacking player, so he takes now. And okay, black what to do? He has to take. Now the knight is under attack. It's a little bit like the previous line we should have seen, but white managed to take those two central pawns. And the problem for black is that there is no bishop e6, because simply rook e6 is coming, and you cannot take with the queen this, and you cannot take this as well. So he has to develop somehow and to try to hang on. If he can move the bishop and maybe castle somewhere, it's okay. And again, white has the same idea, bishop c3. And the point is that if you move the rook, there is knight f6 check, and queen takes h6. Still white will be with a piece down, because now there are two pieces down, but it will be extremely dangerous attack. And okay, Anderssen, he thought, okay, let's just forget about this rook and try to hide the king. So he moves the bishop, preparing the castle. And now white has to decide. Of course, he can take the rook, and then black will castle, and it will be some unclear position. Probably still should be better for white. But in those kind of positions, when you attack and when there is an open file against the king, and one of the most important things if you want to have a successful attack is to not allow your opponent to castle. But how can you prevent the castle? White has found a way with this combination rook takes e7. I have seen a lot of similar combinations, especially from that age, 19th century, where you sacrifice one rook on the e file only to bring the other one with the tempo, starting with Paul Morphy. He had many games like this. And now rook e1. And here the point is, okay, maybe you can say black can still castle, so how does it stop him from castling? The point is that if black castles, knight e7 check, and it looks like he's hiding the king, but not the queen. So he's losing the queen. And unfortunately, black cannot castle, so what to do? Now, rook e7 is coming, bishop h8, there are so many threats, and he moves the bishop back, again, hoping that maybe white will take the rook, and then he can try to castle, because comparing to the other line, knight e7, bishop e7. So he cannot win the queen. But white said, okay, I don't want to take the rook, I want to take this knight, bishop b4. And yeah, now you can sacrifice the queen, but I don't think black has enough compensation. Queen takes in castle, but yeah, probably white should be winning. So he is hoping that maybe by attacking the white queen, this will give him time to castle. So now white has, this move, of course, rook e7 check, and black was preparing this king d8. And yeah, maybe black can try to survive somehow. But white has found a very nice idea, queen e5. He didn't take the knight immediately because now he's putting more pressure on the knight and on the rook, and he's not allowing the castle because queen c7 is a mate. And now black has to move the bishop because it's difficult to see what else to do, bishop c6 or bishop e6. If bishop to e6, which looks like a way to close the e-file, now one of the options among many others is just this, and now rook takes e6 is the best move, and if pawn takes, knight takes, and you cannot stop both mates, you have to sacrifice the queen, but even then probably it still will be a checkmate. So he preferred to go bishop c6, which is not really closing the pressure on the e-file. And yeah, now white has many ideas, but still he has to be a bit careful, because for instance, if you take knight e7, which looks like a very strong move, not allowing the castle, threatening knight c6 and all this, but after queen g7, suddenly if you move the knight, black can trade the queens, and if not, he is attacking g2, or if you go there and then you go, if you take here, now there is this check, and then again is queen g7, exchanging the queens, or even queen c6, and then there is no attack. So white has to find the best move, which is bishop takes, because now there is no queen g7 because the bishop f6. And what to do already, it's very difficult for black. He takes on d5, and now again, by the way, very strong move, because bishop g5, there will be queen e6 and black is winning. So the best move is this, and after this move the game was finished with the checkmate. So you can see how both players won convincingly in this line when they were playing with white. This shows you that attacking is much more easy than defending, because in both games probably black could have defended better, but yeah, it's more difficult to defend.
Thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Here it's time for action. This is the initial page of my website, and here you can click Give Me Access to get access to free lessons. You can read this page, and if you scroll down, here you can add your name and your email. After that, you're going to take a free lesson how to avoid chess blunders. So, time for action is now, and you're very welcome to join my mail list.